my two roommates and Ashley, my girlfriend at the time. And you know, we were watching TV and saw that there was tornadoes coming. So me and my roommate went outside on the front porch and we were looking for it. And I remember the sky was just like this weird green color. My granddad called me and said, you know, you need to take shelter. So we all got in my roommate's closet, and about 30 seconds later, like, you could hear it.
We're looking to the southwest from high atop.
On April 27, 2011, an EF4 tornado packing winds of 170 miles per hour ripped through Tuscaloosa. And Alabama long snapper Carson Tinker and his friends were caught in the middle of it.
We got in the closet and yeah, we could just hear the house being torn apart. And I never thought that it would throw the house across the street, but then I felt the house being, you know, pulled up. It picked the house up and I was thrown about 70 yards.
The storm left most of Tuscaloosa in shambles. There were 65 fatalities and over 1,000 injuries, including Carson and his two roommates, Alan and Peyton. But Ashley was missing.
I was knocked unconscious. I broke my wrist, had a severe concussion. They think something wrapped around my ankle and took a big chunk out of it. But yeah, I had scratches all over me. I was all torn up. Alan came over and he said I was laying face down. Like he thought I was dead, but he rolled me over. And the next thing I remember was looking for Ashley.
Carson and Peyton were taken to the hospital. They were expected to recover, but the next morning, they received news concerning Ashley.
They woke me up the next morning and told me that Ashley, you know, didn't make it. So, you know, that was definitely difficult for me.
With the pain of losing Ashley still on his heart, Carson knew the road to mental and physical recovery would be long and hard. So he looked to the Lord for strength.
I went through a tornado. You know, everybody's got storms in their life, but that was my circumstance, and I had a vision. My vision was I wanted to play football. I remember laying in my hospital bed and I'm like, all right, God, you know, where are we gonna go from here? Because I know I'm not gonna get out of this on my own. And Jeremiah 29:11, everybody's heard that verse, and I got a plan for you, not to harm, but to prosper. And something that I've learned is that the word easy isn't in that verse. It's not an easy plan, but it's a choice that I made, that this is a part of God's plan. I made it every day.
The journey back to the gridiron would be an uphill battle. After 5 days in the hospital, Carson began rehab.
You know, it was a process. You know, you always hear about, you know, Coach Saban always talks about the process. Well, my healing was a process, and it was something, you know, I couldn't look at it going in. Like, they wheeled me into physical therapy in a wheelchair, and I couldn't go in there thinking like, all right, I gotta play football, you know, I gotta be in football shape. I just tried to get a little bit better every day. And like I said, some days I lost, some days I didn't get better, but I woke up the next day with, you know, I will not be denied attitude.
As Carson continued rehab, the town was rebuilding. But in Tuscaloosa, Alabama football is king, and the season was fast approaching. So in the midst of disaster came a rallying cry that came from Carson's doctor.
He was the one that told me, earn it. It comes from Saving Private Ryan. At the end of the movie, where you know, Tom Hanks' character, he takes like 15 guys in to save Private Ryan, and he says to Tom Hanks, you know, how can I make up for this? Like, you lost all your guys. Like what can I do to repay you? And he said, earn it, earn this. And that's something that he told me. He's like, there's a reason that you're still here. I mean, so many people lost somebody that day. I wasn't the only one to lose somebody. There was so many people lost, and I had to earn it.
On September 3rd, the team opened the season against Kent State, and Carson was with them. From there, the Crimson Tide rolled their way to an 11-1 season and 2 consecutive BCS national championships. Today, Carson is engaged to Annie and living his dream as a long snapper in the NFL for the Jacksonville Jaguars. In his book, A Season to Remember, he shares his story with this message of hope.
The main message for me was you either live in vision or you live in circumstance. I wrote the book to help people. You know, like I said, my mantra is some people ask for blessings, but I ask that I can be a blessing. You grow up reading about stories in the Bible about, you know, people facing adversity and, you know, Daniel in the lion's den and stuff like that. But that's when it became real, and I realized that, like, Jesus is real. Those Bible characters, they were real people, and they, you know, they leaned on the Lord just like I had to do.